What is going on? What's up? What's up, Sign YouTube? My name is Angie. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel if you've been here before. We are doing the week reading. Oh, I love week readings because it kind of gives us a really good sort of overview of, possibly what's to come, how we're going to feel. And yeah, it just, I feel like it really gives us some really good insight. So this reading is for Monday through Friday, March 15th through Friday, March 19th, 2021. So we're going to hop right into it without further ado, and let's see exactly what messages we get. We'll use a couple different decks here, and I would like to get some cards. Let's do 5 cards, one for each day. We'll put it all together. Let's see what we got, you guys. Whoa, okay, so we've got... All right, let's see, okay, that one hit the floor. This is interesting. I need 2 more, but it doesn't feel like they're coming out. Okay, so we're gonna roll with that. That's just how I'm feeling. What do we got so underneath? Okay. All right. So, themes this week. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me sit with this for a second. Okay. So, overall theme for this week is we are finally starting to get over some fears here. Okay. We're finally starting to get over some fears. We're really starting to finally sort of get out of our minds, I think, of maybe these mental cycles that we've been in for quite some time that could possibly be self-sabotaging, or things that we've been like worrying about or been fearing about, or things that we've been sort of maybe things that have been keeping us up in the middle of the night. Okay. So this is really the overall subconsciously, okay, what, this week is sort of helping us through is sort of like releasing these mental capacities, these thoughts, these ideas, the way that we think. Maybe it's the way that other people have made us think. But all about our thinking process, and like our fears are finally being broke down, and it's like they're starting to finally dissipate. We're not worried about certain things we used to be worried about. We're not fearing other things that we used to be, scared of before. I don't mean like heights fear, okay? I mean like fears of the unknown. I mean fears of, things that we're fearing that don't even have real justice or reason, no rhyme or reason to even be scared of. Things that aren't even really happening yet. Fear of, this happening, fear of that happening. It's like, well, that's not the reality, And I understand that. I can understand how we have or could have fears of things that aren't even really existent in our world. It's just things that we think. Sometimes it's hard to get out of our minds. Our minds wander. Our conscious mind tries to keep us locked into these ideas or in this paradigm of, this is how it is, when really, there's a whole nother world that the subconscious mind is trying to show you. Okay, so that is the 9 of Swords. That is subconsciously what's going on. We're breaking down, or we're getting through these mental anxieties, mental fears. Okay, and this is great. Okay, because where I'm going to add this together here is the way that I'm really seeing this is it's like we've been having these fears or these anxieties about these, conversations that we've been trying to have with other people, or the way that we speak to ourselves. It's been a very emotional month. I know I've talked about that in a couple different videos. I've talked about it over on the Facebook group. And, it's really this month, like I had said previously, we're being... what's the word I'm looking for? We're being offered. I feel like that's a good choice. Offer. Is that a good word? Yeah, I think offer is a good word. It's like we have the opportunity, okay, to make different choices every single day in this month of March, okay? And really, the choices that we are making is really breaking down and like removing these ideas one by one by one by one. Okay. And so this might be taking us a little while to get through all of these things that have been holding us in place. Okay. But I really feel with this new moon that we just had, it was a very powerful energy. Okay. My dream state was like explosive, literally. I mean, I don't even want to tell you, it was like a nightmare. You know, one of my dreams, it was like there were people dead everywhere. There were animals dead everywhere. Gas stations were on fire. It was like destruction. It was like doomsday. Okay. You know, but it's like, just because that's literally what I was dreaming, that doesn't mean that that's what's happening in the physical world. It's like there's a part of a world within me that has now left and has subsided. Okay. So, you know, it's like we're getting rid of these fears one by one. Okay. So the other information that I have here is really, it's like we're having these internal conversations with ourselves, I believe. I have the Two of Cups in reverse here. So this is saying either, hey, we need to sort of really still deal with the possibility of maybe we're avoiding having some of these conversations that we really need to have and express our emotions and our needs and our wants, or, you know, it's like we're internalizing these things where maybe we're still thinking about these emotions or the way that we feel about ourselves. Maybe it's a conversation we need to have with ourselves in order to break these fears down and get them gone for good. Okay. You know, I have the Hierophant in reverse here as the second card. So the Hierophant in reverse, when the Hierophant is in reverse, it's kind of interesting because this is like by the book. Okay, I'm gonna explain this card because this is a very, very, very spiritual card. Well, they're all spiritual cards, you know, and I mean, you can look at it as a psychological manner, you can look at it as a spiritual manner, okay? And so the way that I perceive the Hierophant is he is the mentor, the teacher, the wise one. That, you know, this could possibly also be you taking a spiritual class and learning about spirituality, or learning about certain things that you've always wanted to learn, expanding your mind and your awareness. This is knowledge, gaining knowledge or perspective, opening your mind about something. This is saying we're sort of like, we're learning here. Okay. And there's someone that is sort of showing us the way. Okay. Now, this in reverse is almost saying that this is sort of like very rigid belief systems that are sort of like placed upon you. I don't know why I'm doing this, which is very interesting. It's like these things are forced upon you. They're placed upon you in your world and on your family. And it's like, it's organized religion. And I'm not trying, I am no way in any shape or form bashing any type of organized religion or any of that. I'm putting a disclaimer out there. Okay. This is a general reading. Take what resonates and leave the rest. What I am going to say about organized religion is, you know, that the belief systems in which we are placed upon when we are younger doesn't necessarily mean that is how we truly feel, or that is what we resonate with as a child or as an adult now. Okay. So this is like old school ways of thinking. I don't want to say that old school ways of thinking are wrong. Okay. But what I would like to say is that this is how it's supposed to be done. It's like a dictator. Okay. And, you know, you could tell that dictator this way and that way and sideways and forwards, and they're going to have some sort of information in which is going to contraindicate what you feel and make you think that what they're saying is correct, even though it doesn't really resonate with you. Okay. So this is like standing up for yourself and understanding like what feels good to you. Just because you were raised as Christian, just because you were raised as Mormon, just because you were raised as Catholic, just because you were raised in, whatever religion or you're Jewish and whatever that is for you in your heritage and the way that you have been raised, it's not set in stone. This is like feeling very uncomfortable because it's almost as if the world is saying you need to do this. Well, listen, I ain't got to do shit. Okay? I'm a sovereign being. I have free will and I have a choice. And, in some countries, wherever you live around the world, you know what? Sometimes speaking your truth can get you killed. Or it has in the past. And so this is a very interesting reading this week, okay? But what I'm wanting to say about this is this is really like, it's like it's like a shift. It's like we're starting to sort of see that things aren't the way that we always thought that they have been or were. Does that make sense? Let me repeat that or let me rephrase that. This is a spiritual awakening. If you don't know what spiritual awakening is, I'm going to refer you to look at some other videos on the meaning of spiritual awakening, because that is a whole nother topic and I could be here forever. Okay? So this is a wake-up call. This is understanding that, things that we have sort of been kept in place with are now sort of coming to the surface, or we are internalizing. I can read this in a different way. We're internalizing the way that we speak to ourselves, the way that, because we have the Two of Cups here, this is like relationship, friendships. We could be having deep conversations with ourselves about what do we really believe? Is this the truth that I see for myself? I'm questioning my beliefs and my thoughts and what I really feel to be and what I think to be true for me. So it's like we're, or there's a possibility that we are, we're needing to have conversations with people in order to break down these fears. Or maybe we're internalizing fears that we're not willing to admit or that we're scared to share with other people. And maybe, we're not allowing ourselves to express what our fears have been, or what our fears are, or what our thought process is. Now, this card is this is interesting because it's like I really feel as if like we're being shifted. Like we're shifting, we're changing, we're moving. We're like, it's almost as if like somebody or certain people that are going to be watching this video are sort of going to be questioning themselves and religious ways and ways in which you have been taught or told to be or live, and coming to the realization that that is not concrete. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. It matters what you think and how you feel and what resonates for you. I feel like this is conversations with ourselves. Internal emotions about what we believe and what our meaning of God or the universe or angels or intuition or spiritual awakening or like what any of that stuff means. It's like we're diving into that this week. I really feel like there's something, I almost feel like there's information or there's something that's going to come out, collectively that's going to sort of make us question. I don't know. It's almost like there's some sort of change here. There's really some sort of massive shift in change, because we have the Five of Pentacles upright. This is the only upright card that we have. This is the focus on. This is what we need to focus on, is understanding that we have people that we can go to, that we can seek, it's like almost like we have blinders on. Okay. So we might be really internalizing some really heavy emotions, some really internalizing some stuff, and really questioning our beliefs or what we've been doing or what we've been creating or where we're going or our life purpose or just life in general. Heavy sort of things. And it's sort of like almost as if I'm almost hearing like ego death. Okay. So I'm really feeling like a huge, massive inner shift or change or emotional breakthrough or breakdown, or some sort of something that is sort of questioning your beliefs in yourself and in the world and how we view things and how we're doing things. And this is saying, listen, you might have blinders on, you might be really diving in and doing some internal work, but don't worry, because if you need to reach out to speak to someone or ask someone or need some guidance, like, there is help. Okay, there is help. Now, sorry for diving into this super deep, but so if I'm going to look at this from a perspective of numbers, we have the Two of Cups, which is partnership. Okay, this could be partnership with friends, family, lovers, a friend turned a lover who has different beliefs than you do, and that's something that really bothers you, but you have to get over it. Or this is realizing that the way that you speak to yourself isn't the way that you need to change the ways that you have perceived things in your life, and changes upon you, and it's okay to reach out for help. You may have some sort of breakdown of some sorts. I'm not saying like a mental breakdown, emotional breakdown. You know what I mean? This is a general reading. I'm just trying to I'm just saying there's something here that is like with the Hierophant in reverse, okay? That is like very dictator, like strict sort of ways of being. And it's like, that's not what we're changing, that we're shifting, that we're moving, because we have the Five of Pentacles. Five is all about change. So it's like, we need to change our thought processes around these things. We need to understand that with change might be needing to ask for help when we normally don't ask for help. Five of Pentacles, this could be material things or money. Okay. But I'm sort of really seeing that this is like, we have the emotional internal aspect. We have the mindset of needing to remove these things. We need to remove these swords. We need to end these ways of thinking. Okay. This could just be negative thought processes and the way that we see the world and the way that we talk to ourselves. This could just be a negative cycle that we're in that is finally coming to completion, or almost to completion, because we're finally starting to remove these things and see these things about the way that we have thought before, or are thinking now, is from the past. Okay. And, we're like internalizing those conversations or the ways that we have been our whole life, or maybe we're scared to speak up about these ways that you have sort of like come to the idea or the conclusion that things have changed for you, and you're not sure how people in your inner circle or in your world are going to see you, or are they going to understand these revelations that you've sort of come to within yourself. Okay. So change is good. Change is good. There's a potential. Like, don't feel like you're down and out. There is help. It's not the end all be all. So just because we have the Five of Pentacles here, the Five of Pentacles is saying, listen, there's help. You can ask for help. Things are changing. Okay. So I want to get some more information here, more information about this week. This feels like a transformational week. New beginnings. We've got new beginnings here this week. So like I'm saying, we have change. We need to focus on the change. Focus on, okay. This is why I was listening to this audiobook today. this morning. Okay. The Alchemist. I know that this is like one of the number one spiritual books out there, and I still have not finished it. Okay. When it comes to reading, you know, I'll admit it takes me forever to finish a book. Okay. So, a dear friend actually had gifted me this audiobook like probably like last year, the beginning of the year, and last year, probably like a year now. Oh, good Lord. It's been a year and I still haven't finished this audiobook. That's pretty sad. But listen, I'm just keeping it real here. Okay. So, if you have read or listened to The Alchemist, okay, that's absolutely great. You're a one-up on me. But this is the thing about this book is that, how would I like to say this? This is all about understanding that the situations or the experiences that we have had have taught us valuable lessons. Okay. And so we're always learning and we're always understanding that, you know, sometimes we are placed in certain situations to sort of crack open or reveal more information and to release these old sabotaging ways, okay? Because we are releasing these thought processes. We're pulling this stuff out finally, okay? But this is also the new beginnings totally resonates with the Five of Pentacles because 5 is change, okay? So this could be change for you in understanding, okay, that you need to ask for help. This could be a change in your money situation, a change of viewpoint, okay? And so that's where it's coming to with The Alchemist, is that where I'm at in the audiobook is where this boy meets this wise man, okay? And he's telling a little bit of a story, and I'm not going to get into the whole thing because I really do want you to listen to it, and I'm going to make it a point to kind of hammer through that. But I had this like revelation, or I understood the meaning of what I'm going to tell you right now, is that there was a king, and the king said to the boy, you know, I want you to take this spoon, and I'm going to put some oil in this spoon, and I want you to walk around my beautiful land and my beautiful castle. But the only condition is, you know, for the next 2 hours, you know, you have 2 hours to do this. And when you come back, you need to make sure that you have every single drop of oil in that spoon, because that is sacred oil and you cannot lose any of the oil. Okay. So what does he do? So the boy is wandering around the castle and, you know, for 2 hours, and he comes back. And so the king says, well, you know, did you see the beautiful things I have and all these things? And he's like, well, no. He's like, I've just been concentrating on not losing any of the oil. So then he says, okay, well, I'm going to give you 2 more hours and I want you to go wander around my castle. And he said, you know, I want you to, well, how did it go? Okay, yeah. So here he once again has the oil on the spoon. So what does he do? He's not paying attention to the oil on the spoon at all whatsoever, because he's just so flabbergasted by everything. This beauty in this castle, and the paintings and the rugs and the furnishings and the gold and all this stuff, okay? And so he comes back and the king says, well, what happened to the oil? Where's the oil at? And he's like, oh no, like I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to the oil. I was, you know, looking at, you know, all the beauty, you know? And so, the moral of the story is to, you know, to not be so zoned in on what, you know, to not be so blinded by your ideas or your thoughts or your mission. Yes, pay attention to the mission, but you need to pay attention to the mission and also your surroundings. Take time to enjoy life as it is presented to you, as you're still paying attention to where you're going, you know? And so there's more to this story. And so, you know, then of course the boy left, and then he was presented with this situation, and I knew exactly what that meant, because I was like, oh no. So anyway, I'm going to leave you on that little cliffhanger so that you are now going to purchase The Alchemist. No, I'm not getting any money from that. So, but it's a really, really, really amazing book. And like I said, you can get it on audiobook, which I'm listening to it on audiobook. So, I'm telling that story, and I'm trying to tie that back in because, of course, I forgot exactly what I was going to say. But they wanted me to give that information. So it's understanding, it's having a bigger perception. So this is really the way that I'm seeing this, is understanding, you know, maybe that little story that I told you guys is this is how we've been taught our whole lives, is to keep your eye on, you know, that's all I got here. Keep your eye on the spoon and do not let that oil come out of there. Don't spill this coffee, you know, pretend like it's filled to the brim, you know, and you are to wander around. Of course, this is how it's like we're zoned to just live our lives with these binoculars on of what we're supposed to do day in and day out. And you're sleepwalking, potential for sleepwalking. Okay. Yes. Pay attention to your dreams and your hopes and your life and your aspirations. But also take the time to look around, be present. You know, it's listening for the signs and the synchronicities and the information that comes to you. Okay. Now, me and Dana, this is funny that this is coming up because Dana and I have had multiple conversations, sort of, you know, within the recent couple of weeks about, yeah, you know, we always tell people to, you know, to listen for the signs, but really listening for the signs is watching for the signs. Okay. So it's watching for what you're thinking about. And then you're seeing on the clock 111, 222, 333, any synchronistic number, your birthday. You know, I see, you know, 516 all the time. My birthday is 516. Okay. So, you know, it's paying attention. It's opening your thought process and your awareness. And you're not so focused on this spoon so much. You're now, yes, you're aware of this. But you're also aware of all of this as well. Okay? So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. I want to pull another card here. Okay. No, we're not, because you know what? I looked at the bottom of the deck, and so now this whole thing just spilled over. So, oh, where did it go? It was fulfillment in reverse. Okay. All right. I don't know where it went. Okay, here it is. So, fulfillment in reverse. Okay. So this really does tie up this whole entire reading. Okay. Because this is saying and asking you what fulfills you in life. You know, we're wandering around life with these preconceived notions, these preconceived ideas, these drilled patterns in a sleepy consciousness of things that we think that we should do or that we've been doing because that's what we were told to do our whole entire lives. And now it's sort of like we're questioning those things. And that's exactly what Spirit wants you to do. Spirit wants you to question. Spirit wants you to have these conversations with yourself and other people if you feel comfortable enough to open up to say, listen, I want change in my life. I don't want to live my life the same way. I'm tired of these things and these baggages and these shackles of these ideas and these thoughts and these preconceived notions of patterns of which I have lived out my whole entire life. I'm ready to let them go. I want to live a fulfilling life. So what fulfills you? If you get anything out of this reading, ask yourself, what change do you want to make? And if you are presented with change this week, allow yourself to allow the change to occur because you have new beginnings. The doors are opening if you will allow to break down these fears, that are made up in your mind. You are more than capable. You have the strength, you have the willpower, you have the knowing, you have the abilities to break down these fears of what has been keeping you in place and what your ideas are, or your thought process about what, might become of this. You have new beginnings coming. What is going to fulfill you? What is on your path and purpose? What is your path and purpose? Okay? So ask yourself, you may have different ideas or different perceptions than other people. But, sometimes it's almost like we need to break down these ideas and fears, okay? And sometimes we make up stories in our head about what somebody else thinks, or, if okay, being told don't go there. I'm not really sure where that was going, but, let everyone else's opinion go, and you have to tune into yourself and ask yourself, what do you want out of life, and what changes are you willing to make? Take off the blinders and let's start making the baby steps that you can take towards fulfillment in your life, because it's almost like we're resisting fulfillment, okay? Or something in our life that could be fulfilling, all right? And so this is saying, hey, we need to pay attention, okay? We really need to pay attention, and we need to turn this in, to a very fruitful time. There's fruit here. You're being presented with an opportunity and a new beginning. So push yourself out of your comfort zone and remove and break down those fears and move towards what fulfills you. Doesn't matter what other possible, whatever anybody else has to say. It's all about your forward momentum and what you feel is right for you. And those that know you and truly understand and want what's best for you will understand. So don't miss out on what life wants to give you. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. All right, you guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments, your likes, your shares, all that good stuff. I love you all. As always, much love and light. Sign sessions the end of this month, March 28th, which is a Sunday. It is during the day. It is at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which means 3 p.m. or is it 4? 1, 2, 3, I believe 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because now we just had the time change. Anyway, if you're interested in the sign sessions, let me know, or you can go to sign.com in the overhead tab, click on home or more information, and there is a link to sign sessions. Go on that page all the way at the bottom, click to the link, and I'll take you right where you can pay, reserve your spot, and we will see you on the 28th, which is also the full moon. So I will also be talking about the astrological energy of what's happening. So we will set some intentions for releasing. So this is like an extra little bonus to the sign session for this month. So I just thought, oh my gosh, we're scheduling this on the full moon. So what better way to start off that session with, releasing stuff. So I think it's going to be a very, very powerful sign session. They're always powerful in their own ways. Everyone gets so much information from, everybody else's readings as well. And so I really, really hope to see you there. Otherwise, I will see you on the next video. Namaste. Bye for now.